Hey everybody, this is Zach. I am in my truck and I'm currently parked at the Monte Vista trailhead on the opposite side, depending on where you're coming from, but it's a less populated side of Tortugas Mountain, also known as A Mountain in Las Cruces. So the A stands for the Aggies, and that goes to farting in your butt face. Hey everybody, this is Zach. Today is Thursday, March 4th, 2021, and I am parked at one of the trailheads at Tortugas Mountain, also known as A Mountain in Las Cruces, and I'm going to go for a trail run today. Even though it's quite windy, the winds are about 22 miles per hour right now, and there's just not just the wind that's blowing around right now, but with the desert environment that we have, the loose sand and dirt that exists on the topsoil here is being blown around in it too. So yeah, so just kind of a dusty, windy day today. So, but I'm still gonna get out there. I just really wanted to run out here today and test out a new pair of trail shoes that we got in the shop from On Running. So it's the Cloudultra, and I've looked at them. I put one shoe on my foot. I haven't run in them. I did walk a little bit in the house, and when I did walk in the house, I could feel some kind of a snap or spring in the heel, and so I'm looking forward to see if that continues while I'm out in the trails today. It's a very interesting shoe. It's a little different from what I expected, and based on the pictures that I had seen from On. But again, On is a brand that we carry in the store. We've been carrying it for a long time, or since we've been in business, and it's the first shoe brand that we carried. So it's been a really great brand for us, and our customers really like it. So but here's the Cloudultra. We got it in this black and white colorway. It's also available in like a yellowish type of colorway, and we've got some of those on order, but we really like the black and white, and just a really different look, and kind of how some of their other shoes are starting to look too, like with the new the Cloud Swift and some of their other shoes, and including lifestyle shoes and hiking boots and things like that. So it looks really great. I haven't read up on the specs of the shoe, but for me, this upper looks very much like a form of like a matrix upper or Kevlar, and the fit or the upper too it's a sock like fit. So when I put my foot into it the other day, it is a little narrow, the opening, but once I slid my foot in, it went in real easily. And then once I got my entire foot in there, it wrapped like so well around my foot. I just felt really secure. It felt like, you know, the shoe was a part of me, not like I was wearing a shoe. So it feels very close to your skin and your foot and your legs, and I think it's gonna do very well today. So the reason I chose Tortugas Mountain is it's semi-technical. It does have its easy spots, but it does also have some loose rock, and then rocks that are jutting out from the ground, and rocks that you have to sidestep. So I would say like half of it is technical and the other half is pretty easy. So good for doing a long run. You can get it I think around 4 to 5 miles just by doing the loop around the base of the mountain. And then there's also some trails where you can ascend to the very top, where there's a observatory and a radio tower, I believe. But I have been up there, and it's pretty good climb. It's a nice fast hike or a fast run depending on your skill level. So anyway, so it's really cool. It has this sock fit, and what I also like too is that this outer covering is separate from the boot or booty part of it, so you have that added protection so that it's not, if you do encounter rocks or anything else and they're gonna poke into the upper, like we get out here in the desert environment of the Southwest, where we can get cactus and other needles that shoot up not just from the bottom of our foot but also on the top, especially if you find yourself going off trail for whatever reason. So yeah, so it was really cool. The upper, the heel counter, like I mentioned before, when you get your foot in, it's a little snug at first, and then it just slides in really comfortably, and I expect that might loosen up with use. And so the heel counter is nice. They have a kind of a pull tab in the front where the tongue is, but I would have liked to see a pull tab up here, even if it's just a minor one like this one, just because when you are putting on the shoe, for me, at least for the first time, you want to get some of that extra pull action, and this isn't enough, but it still works. But that would be something like, if I could influence On in any way, I say, you know, add a little pull tab right here, just as minor as this one, up at the front. And I left this on right here. So this comes on each shoe, this piece of cardboard with the information on there. It's a light cardboard. And so it has this switch right here on top of the laces here. And so if you're running an ultra, which is what this shoe is designed for, running a trail ultra, especially on rugged or technical terrain, it allows you to flip this and release the laces a bit, so that as your foot expands or grows throughout the course of the day or your run, you have more room for your foot. So I thought that was really cool addition to a trail shoe, not something I'd seen before. And then this white thing, you might notice it as this is a place to keep your shoelaces after you tie them, and then so you can tuck them in here. It also works, I've always felt, to help kind of also stabilize the top of your foot right there with the shoe. But just a really great fitting shoe so far. So one of the things, when I saw pictures of it, and maybe you might have thought this too, is that this looks a whole heck of a lot like the technology used in the Cloudstratus, also by On. So the double Cloud Tech here towards the heel, which ends about midfoot, looks very similar to the Cloudstratus, but it is not soft like the Cloudstratus. So it's not a high cushion feel. So it's more rugged. It's a harder, if you can hear that, it's a harder type of mid foam, and so it's going to give you that, and it's on both sides. It's to give you that more of that stability for traversing technical terrain. And so, like, if your foot slips or tends to turn either to the medial or lateral side, it's not going to be a soft outer cushion or midsole that's going to get worn away very quickly. It's pretty tough. You know, it has a plasticky feel to it, and this shoe, as with most of the running shoes, has a Helion in it. And this is the outsole, which I also thought would be soft, kind of like the Cloud Venture, which is still rugged but a little on the softer side, but this is not soft at all. It's a very hard outer rubber mission grip outsole with the Cloud Tech in it, but even these so the white part in the middle is probably the softest part of this mid foam. So, and it's still pretty sturdy compared with like road shoes or cushion shoes. So definitely a nice, harder, sturdy plastic. So I'm bending it a lot, or trying to anyway, but definitely not a flimsy shoe, and it's just going to give you that support and that protection from rocks on rugged trails and or mountains, or wherever you're doing your running, or even hiking or some moderate climbing. Man, this shoe just looks really tough. Looking forward to getting to running it, and then so I'll shoot a little video of me running in it, and then I'll give a review afterwards to let you know what I think of it. But it just looks great. It's really highly stylized, and which we expect from On. And but this flip release right here, if you can see where the laces kind of meet, so once you flip it, it'll expand, and I don't need that right now for this run I'm about to do. And so I could eventually try it for a longer distance, but right now I'll keep it closed. And so this is the left shoe, just to show you that it's on both shoes, and that yeah, this informational piece comes on both shoes, and it gives you a diagram of how to use it, which is really cool. You know, I just really like the way they did that. And so after my run too, once I do my final review, I'll share some of the official specs and information from On running with you. Yeah, really looking forward to that. It's got a, you know, normal toe bumper that you expect with most running shoes and trail shoes, but again, just really nice and sturdy. I mean, look at that. I'm pressing really hard, and the flex comes here at the forefoot or ball of the heel, which is where you're gonna get most of your control. And like for me, that's where I want it. I want to have control right there, so to move or bounce or jump, and that's where my nimbleness comes from, is right there. Especially technical trails here in Las Cruces, and especially in the El Paso area, where they're even more technical. You know, that's something you really want. You want to be able to maneuver very quickly at the last second, because that can make the difference between traversing the terrain really quickly, or just totally crashing and having a dangerous or major injury type of fall, which can happen out here, or especially in El Paso, because there's so much rock out there, and a lot of them are jagged and hard, and it's very easy to fall while you're running and then injure yourself further by getting bruises, cuts, and scrapes along your arms, legs, and also your head. So anyway, enough about that for right now. So I'm going to put these on and go for a run and let you know what I think. nice about shoes that have this loop here for your laces is that you don't have to worry about double knotting them here. You just tie them like normal and then just pass them through the loop, and they stay out of the way. Plus, it keeps your knot from coming unraveled during your run. So, which is nice, especially if you're doing a race or ultra and you're going to be changing shoes or need to take off your shoes to change socks or have your feet attended to. That's where this really comes in handy. It just goes in real easily, as you can see. And there, since it's not double knotted, I can easily untie it and remove it, or have a crew member remove it for me. I'm not even gonna wear a cap, it's too windy. Oh my goodness. This is a hikeable part. So we're on the other side. That's where I just came from. So far so good. Man, just so protective. I haven't felt a single rock. The grip is great. No issues so far. The fit is great. The laces have stayed in the loop. Let me show you. There you can see the laces are still in their place. I haven't done anything to them. So I went with my regular size 10 in these shoes, and as you can see, that's where my big toe is. So I have a thumb's width, and here I have less than a thumb's width. So these shoes fit true to size, and so that's what I would recommend if you get a pair. And I'll share the links to our website if you want to buy from us. I'm gonna get on with my run here, about halfway in, and then, like I said, I'll follow up with some more details and another special announcement. All right, fast forward. I've been home a while. I took a shower, I did some other stuff, but still thinking about this shoe. And for my first run on the trails and these on some technical terrain, with a lot of rocks, sharp edges, loose rocks, big rocks, small rocks, hard packed dirt, some sand, hills and things like that. The shoe did really well, about what I expected it would do. So the first trail shoe I wore from On was a Cloudventure, and so it's been a while since I last ran in a pair of Cloudventures. But if you run in that shoe, or hiked, you probably know that it's on a higher platform, so your foot's sitting a little bit higher and from the ground, and so that gives you some of the added protection from the debris below. It's built on the speed board, etc. And so you get the protection from that shoe, which it was a highly protective shoe. I really enjoyed it, especially running in the Franklin Mountains. And what I liked about it, and still like about it, is that the outsole, the way it's kind of splays out and kind of keeps you stable that way, whenever you're like in a crooked angle, or your ankle or your foot is kind of tilting from side to side, if you're stepping on rocks and over rocks and things like that. So I found it to be a very stable shoe for that reason. But this one, I mean, this one's it's so much different. And I haven't run in the Cloudventure Peak, but Michelle has run in it, and that's one of her favorite trail shoes. So this, man, it was great. 4-mile run. I still got a ways to break it in, but I broke it in a bit already. If you can see, it did get a little dirty. It was windy and dusty today. Did get a little scuff mark on the toe, and that's fine. And so I really, so we went with the black upper and the white highlight at first, because we figured most people would like this color the best in the region where we live. And but they also, like I said before, had the yellow colorway, which we have on order too, for people who like a splash of color. So yeah, it looks great. I know there's concern with people in running in a white trail shoe, which I don't fully understand, because if you're running on any kind of trails, whether it's desert or forest, you're gonna get that shoe dirty. Hopefully you'll get it nice and dirty. And so really the color, to me anyway, doesn't matter. So whether it's white, black, or pink or blue, orange, you know, you get the idea, but it's gonna get dirty. And so that's part of what makes it a trail shoe, is that it's in an environment where it's expected to get dirty. And I'm not the type of person, and I would say most trail and ultra runners, by and large, are not the type of people or runners who are going to go and clean their trail shoes, unless they get super muddy underfoot, or you get it in the upper, But then like for me, I just let them dry and then I bang off the dry dirt. But for the most part, a trail shoe is designed to get dirty. So for me, it's just getting those marks on the white, any part of the white upper or the white midsole, or even if it has white in the outsole. That's all part of what makes it a trail shoe. It's going to get dirty, so it doesn't matter, at least to me, what the color is. And it doesn't matter to me if it shows, because it shows that I'm using it exactly in the environment that it was designed for. So, yeah, so that being said, it's great. You should definitely try it out. I didn't flip the release. I didn't need to. I really like the way it holds my foot as is, but if you have a slightly wider foot, you may want to flip it when you first try it on and see if that helps. Although I have about a medium-sized foot, and so I didn't have any problems with the fit. It's not narrow by any means at the ball of the foot or at the top of the foot here. So if you do have wide foot concerns, you might be able to find a comfortable fit with this shoe. I did see on the On Running page on the description, they recommended going up half a size. So if you do have a larger fit, I certainly would larger foot, I certainly would recommend following that advice and going up half a size. But for me, I'm a size 10. I'm a true to size 10. And so this size 10 worked perfect for me. Going up a half size would have been too big for me. And I have enough space in the toe bumper to protect my foot. And but it does a good job so far on that run that I did, and where I showed you a little bit of hiking on some of that part. I just slowed down to show you those areas and just to show you how rocky the run was. So but that's what we have out here in the desert in Las Cruces and El Paso, Texas. So it certainly is built for something like that. It's built as an ultra shoe, so for long distances. It's built for technical terrain, but you can also run on it in on regular trails. And so I'll get to that and do some on not so technical trails and see how it does. On also described it as a highly cushioned trail shoe. And so for me, I don't know if in my initial run, I felt like it was supremely cushioned. You certainly do not, or at least I didn't get a sinking in feeling that you would get with a cushioned shoe. And you don't get that cushiony, responsive ride that people are experiencing now with some of these newer shoes, which have the carbon plates embedded in there, and some of those newer foams that are giving you that spring. So definitely working with its regular technology, like the speed board, the cushioning, especially this rubber on the outsole. And like I said, it's hard. It's a little bit harder. So, and not that flexible, except for right here where you want your toes to bend so you can get that extra grip when ascending or descending, or trying to get around some of those rocky areas more nimbly. I think for me, in my opinion, it has the right amount of flexibility or inflexibility. So in reading too about it, so this overlay that covers the sock portion is TPU. And so this covers from the whole, just about the whole upper except the heel. So it does go around here. So it's part of the lacing system. And then it goes around to the other side as well. And then it does have the On logo there, which sometimes people think, at least some of the customers we talked to, they think that's a QC. So if you're watching this and you're not sure, it's not a QC. It's actually ON, so it's On. So not QC, kind of looks like it, but it is On. And so I like the design. I think it's really contemporary looking. at least in the On design, not QC. So yeah, I definitely recommend you try out this shoe. If you have the budget, it's $179.99, which I know is up there with some of those other more expensive shoes. But if you want a shoe that's going to last, and I'm sure this will, just like our other On shoes have done, because Michelle and I wear all of the brands that we carry. So this this shoe is meant to go the distance. I think it will, and if I experience anything different, I'll do a follow-up message below and let you know, or if I experience something with it that's unexpected and things like that, I will let you know. But very comfortable, sock-like fit. It did open up a little bit more once I got my foot in there, and then once I took it out after I was doing my run. As you might have seen earlier in the video where I was putting the shoe on, I did have to pull here to get my foot in, and then I did have to pull down with my thumb also, kind of simultaneously. And so that's where I think the extra pull tab right here would help a lot. So that would be my only gripe about the shoe. But so far, from that short run that I did and walking around in them too, it looks like a great trail ready shoe that you can just run in right out of the box. Although, you know, I don't recommend you go and race right out of the box in these shoes, because that's not recommended for any shoe, no matter how comfortable it feels. So, so anyway, so that's my review. If you have any questions or thoughts about the shoe, let me know if you've tried it and have liked it or not liked it. And let me know in the comments below, and if you have reasons for why you don't like it or do like it, or it'd be interesting to hear your take on the white upper debate, kind of. The North Face recently came out with some white trail shoes, the Vective line, and we have some of those shoes in stock. I think it looks great. Some people don't agree. On also has the Cloud Venture in all white as well, and we've had people buy those and haven't expressed concern with the white upper. So it's kind of different, and seems to be different across brands, and maybe finding that right balance of white versus another color or versus black within the same shoe design. And to me, I mean, I think it looks great. It looks cool. I mean, this line here that really makes the heel look bigger than it actually is. It kind of looks faster, kind of looks more supportive. You know, I really like that. I think it's cool. But then again, you know, the color doesn't really matter that much to me, and I definitely would not recommend buying a shoe based on its color. You want to buy a shoe that's best for you and your foot and your body and the type of conditions or terrain that you plan to use it in. So definitely to think about that in the white upper debate, or the white shoe debate, which is pretty interesting. Solomon came out. Solomon is another brand that we carry with the Pulsar recently, and we don't have that shoe in stock yet, but that's a white shoe. You might say it's like an off-white or like a light gray, but people have been loving, the reviews have been good for that shoe, and I haven't seen any mention of the light or white colorway for that shoe. So I guess it just depends, and I'm not sure what the criteria is for one white being good versus another white. So anyway, end of that discussion. Check out the Cloudultra. I'll post links if you want to buy it from us. And then what I wanted to close with is this. And this is just my opinion. But there's a lot of YouTube reviewers out there who review running shoes, and they do it, I think some of them do it for a living. And that's good. That's well and good. I do watch their reviews. I do like to see sometimes what their opinions are and see if I agree or disagree. And you know, for me, it helps to have that information when we get a shoe in stock or we decide to carry a shoe. Helps me make a more informed decision about who might like it and what it would best be used for, and even what colors our customers would like most. So I appreciate that, YouTube shoe reviewers. There's about 5, I would say, that are pretty popular right now, but there's been quite a slew of other people reviewing running shoes, which I think is great. You know, running, I think, is really big right now, and part of that's due to the pandemic, and part of that's due to the ultra racing scene, I think. And now that we're heading back at the Olympics, part of it's because of that with track and field. So, and then the technology in shoes right now is just crazy. Like shoe companies are just coming out with these great new foams, these midsoles, these uppers. They're considering the environmental impact in their designs and compostability or recyclability of their shoes, which I think is great. And if you can afford or get some of those shoes, like the one that Solomon's come out with, and also the one from On that's come out or coming out, you know, definitely that would be a great way to go if you're okay with that. And I will say that both of those recycled and recyclable shoes are white, and I think that's really cool. I really like that about those shoes, that they look like they were recycled or came from recycled materials, and I think that's pretty cool. I think it definitely sends a message that you're an environmentally conscious runner, and so that puts you in good company with other people who believe in that there is a form of global warming going on right now and has been going on, and so shoe companies like On and Solomon and some other companies are doing what they can to minimize the impact of running shoes and landfills and things like that. So I think that's great. So what I do want to say, though, is that these popular reviewers, and like I said, there's about 5, and I won't name them, or some of the newer ones that have come out, but they all have affiliate links to buy the shoe. So once they review the shoe, they tell you, hey, if you want to check out the shoe, check out the links below and buy your own. And so some are honest and say that it doesn't benefit them directly, or that the shoe company that they're promoting doesn't pay them for the review. But with the affiliate link, they are getting some form of a payment or compensation for the review. So they're either getting percentage off or percentage back of each sale, or they're getting access to the free shoes that they get to review, because many of them do get free shoes from different companies. And so they could also be coming from the online store that they reference. And so the reviewers, some of the major reviewers live in major areas of the country in the US, and places that have ample local running stores that they could be supporting, and but instead are directing their viewers to a online running company or a running store that is based in California, I believe. So like in Washington State, the Chicago area, Baltimore, I'm trying to think of another one, Colorado. You know, if you're a reviewer in a city or area or state that has a truly local running store, one that was built from the ground up by members of the local community, and isn't a national franchise store, you know, they really need your support. I mean, they've needed your support this whole time, but especially last year, they have needed your support. You know, we've appreciated the support that we've gotten, being a local running store in Las Cruces, New Mexico that serves various communities throughout New Mexico and Texas. And so we're thankful that we've been in a position to where the COVID, the pandemic didn't affect us as much as a brick and mortar store. And so with the brick and mortar stores, keep in mind that they do have to pay rent. If they do have employees, they have to pay them. Along with rent, they have to pay for utilities, and that's all of that is before having to purchase the shoes and the gear that they carry. So for those who aren't aware or might be interested in opening a running store, like I was a long time ago, and I was looking into what it entailed. I didn't know, like, how does it work with the shoes? Like, do they give me the shoes and then I sell them and then I get a portion of that, or do I have to pay for them or what? And so that's when I learned about wholesale. And so what happens is that when you decide to carry a brand, you buy X amount of shoes at a wholesale price, which is usually close to or near half of what the shoe is retailing for. So the retail price, and sometimes you have to pay more and get less in return. So let's say it's $179.99 shoe, like the On shoe I just reviewed. This is $179.99. So for each pair, your local shoe store is paying close to half or possibly more to carry that shoe for you. And so when you go into the store and you see all the shoes they have and they have to go to the back to get your size, they've paid for all those shoes. They paid for at least half of what those shoes are costing you. And they're doing it because they want to serve you better, just like we do. They want to serve you better and they want to have your size. They don't know who's going to buy from them on a day-to-day basis. So they try to have every size in stock that they can, like we do as well. But you know, that costs money. I mean, you know, it's fair to say, well, that's the business you're in and that's what you chose to do. And yeah, that's true. But I'm just mentioning that here as some advice and hopefully sway you from not using those affiliate links to an online store that doesn't go back into your local community. So when people shop with us in the Las Cruces or El Paso area, you know, that money that we make or get back, it stays in Las Cruces in the El Paso area. And what that means is we shop locally. We go to stores, we go to restaurants, and Michelle and I always do our best to go local first. And if it's not available locally, we'll go with, you know, the smallest national chain or whatever that we can. And so, you know, that's just like our philosophy about how we approach, you know, life in general and in our business and supporting other businesses is by going to them versus a national chain. So like, I don't like going to Walmart. We don't shop through Amazon. We go to Whole Foods occasionally because there's one in El Paso, though I like that less after Amazon bought them. And so, you know, we try to stick with our local grocery stores and restaurants and other shops, including, you know, where we take our car, where we get our hair cut. Michelle cuts my hair, but she got her hair done recently by a local hairstylist. So it goes down and down, but the point is, you know, support your local running community, support your local running store, support your local community in general, and keep your money where you live, you know, because that's only going to benefit everybody in the community, because that money is coming back there, it's staying there. You know, the people that own and run the shops, they likely live in or near the city or town where running stores based, and some cities and towns have higher cost of living than others. We're fortunate that the cost of living here isn't high, so that's another benefit for us. But again, if I was a larger store in in a town like, say, in Washington State, and this guy who lives in a famous city where I own a running store is doing reviews of shoes that I carry, but he's directing people to go to a shop that's online and in another state. You know, that doesn't sell well with me. And you know what you're doing is diverting business from local entrepreneurs, small business people, and families that really need the support. And so what I would ask is, if any of those reviewers are watching this or hear about this, is to reach out to your local running stores. Reach out to them and see if there's something they can do that's similar to this other online company that you're referring people to, because they might be able to work with you, or might be willing to work with you, and maybe even have you in the shop and do some reviews there, and promote the local running community and the local shops. I know as a YouTuber, you're trying your hardest and you want to make a living out of it, and that's great. I understand that. I do like to review shoes occasionally and when I have time, but I'm not doing the reviews or posting them to make a living at it, or even to make money. It's just that I have a love affair with running and with shoes in general. And so when I get excited about a certain shoe, even if it's one that we don't carry, I like to review it just to get that information out there for other people to see. But I won't keep going on, but hopefully you get the point. Shop local, support your local running store where you live. Don't click on affiliate links that aren't going to help your local running store stay in business, or your local community. And that's all I have to say. Give this shoe a try. I'm interested to hear what you think about this shoe and about the white upper controversy that there is lately, and hope to talk to you soon. Also, this shirt I'm wearing, Running is My Therapy, is a shirt put out by my good friend Rory Moynihan in Flagstaff, Arizona. So check out TrailGangstAZ, and I'll put the link to them below so you can check out their shop. They have some other shirts that they do, and if you like rapping, if you like comedy, and you like having fun mixed in with your running, definitely check out TrailGangstAZ. So until next time, take care and stay safe.